I'm a big fan of Varane up front too, but Lewandowski in the final,
I trust.
I'm
the
all
thing
for
is
that.
if I didn't trust Hansi Flick the way that I trust Hansi Flick with my life, I would probably say I would love to see Varane over Lewandowski when you're looking at more dynamic. But obviously, I think Hansi Flick, he does this very much on purpose. And I'd be quite curious to see, we do know that Lewandowski is good with his back to goal. He puts the ball down, let Rafinha, Lamine Yamal run into space, maybe a little flick. So I am quite curious to see what Hansi Flick has in store in terms of the front three.
Yeah, certainly so. Well, you and me, Alex, will be in the studio. Our colleague Llorenç Ares is going to be live from Saudi Arabia, from the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Llorenç, good evening, my friend.
Good evening, Pablo, Alex. Welcome
Míralo,
to the King Abdullah Stadium. Everything is ready here in Jeddah. Benvinguts també a tots els seguidors que ens seguiu des de Parla Catalana. Som a aquest estadi on és a punt de començar la gran final de la Supercopa. I mica en mica van arribant els aficionats. Fixeu-vos al meu darrere, seguidors tant del Barça com del Madrid, però majoritàriament sembla que predominant els colors blaugranes en aquest estadi, que avui presentarà un ple absolut per veure aquesta gran final, la quarta entre el Barça i el Real Madrid en aquesta competició. 16 títols busca el Barça, 14è títol busca el Madrid, tot preparat aquí a Lleida. Recordem d'aquí uns moments l'alineació del Barça i parlarem també amb Hansi Flick. Tot a punt per buscar el títol. Senyores i senyors, benvinguts al gran espectacle.
There you have it, people. The King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Interesting what Llorenç said there, Alex. We weren't sure how many Barca fans, how many Madrid fans would be in the stadium.
Yeah.
Looks as though it could be quite even. We're hoping for a lot of Barca fans in support indeed this evening. Alex, with that lineup in mind, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask the members live chat a question too.
If it's an easy question, then
We've got the quiz coming up later, I'm afraid to say.
I'm not scared just yet.
Here we go then. Who will be the key player today?
Ooh.
This was tricky because I wanted to put Rafinha, I wanted to put Lamine on there. But Joan Garcia, will it be his sort of night where Madrid are getting in behind a lot? Will it be a day that Pedri has to control things for Barca? Yeah. Or will it be the Lewandowski show again?
You put it hard, Pablo, today. It's. I would say this is probably just as hard as a quiz question. You know that Joan Garcia can save us out. He's proven himself time and time again, and there's no team I think that we go up against that I don't have trust in Joan Garcia being able to pull us out of it, especially if it's a tight game today. If we're 0-0, 1-0, Joan Garcia can easily be the joker to keep us in the game for as long as possible, really. But at the same time, you don't want that. You don't want Joan Garcia. No. You never want Joan Garcia to be the key player, even though he perfectly can.
He has been, hasn't he?
Yeah, against Espanyol, I think it said it all. We won because of him. I think, solely because of that. He kept us in the game for so long that we were able to win at the end. Pedri, my words. What was it? The El Clásico at the start of the season. When was that, Pablo?
We lost. You're talking about the one that we lost this season?
Yeah.
We lost at the Bernabeu 2-1.
Yeah, but I think Pedri had a good game then.
Yep, he got sent off in the last few moments in that one, so he'll be looking for revenge in that regard.
Exactly. So I think Pedri against Real Madrid, I think, has always been quite key. I think he knows how to upset them with the ball at his feet, and I think that's quite pleasing to know that he's on the pitch today. Lewandowski could be crucial, as you said. Probably he does have a good record against Real Madrid. Yep. He's been needing a big match. We've been saying it for a bit. I'm gonna go with, you know what? I'm going to change it up. I'm going Lewandowski.
Okay, Lewandowski.
I'm betting on Lewandowski today.
Let's hope so. A lot of Pedris in the live chat, Alex. Belinda, Gloria, ex-soccer, all say Pedri. Bruna says Pedri. A few have said Rafinha, Alia and Razan are saying Rafinha. Gio Dasher does say Joan Garcia, however. So there's lots that we'll see, won't we? We'll see.
I'm going to go Lewandowski.
We'll see who is indeed the key player on this one. Alex, of course, we do have good memories from last year's final. It was a brilliant victory for Barca. A 5-2 win, in fact, it was for the Blaugrana on that occasion. We went 1-0 down early, Mbappe scored. But in the first half, we were already 4-1 up at half-time. Scored an unbelievable amount of goals in that game. And I think out of the 4 Clásicos we won last season, that's the one that maybe stands out to me in terms of just how dominant we really were.
Yeah, no, it was a game that we we kind of came into not really expect. I mean, just like today, you know, it's a cup final. You don't really know what to expect, no matter the form that both teams are in the league. You know, no matter the form that the players are in, it's a cup final. You know, anything can happen. Really, as cliche as that sounded, is really, really true. So, you know, you come into these games and you don't really expect much. You don't know what's going to happen. So, I think the way that we won this final last season was just outstanding. I think it's nothing, especially when you look at the shitness number that we had. When you look at, you know, there was a lot of doubts. I think there was a lot of doubts outside. There's a lot of doubts inside. There was doubts in us about how we were going to perform. Is it too much mentally for us? Maybe. But at the end of the day, you know, we absolutely killed it. And hopefully today is a repeat.
Yeah, let's certainly hope so. Just seeing the highlights on our screen here, this is certainly one of the goals of last season and indeed 2025. This one from Lamine Yamal, absolutely outrageous. We're hoping it's his night again tonight, Alex. You get the feeling it might well. He's often a player who shines on the biggest of stages. He didn't play much in the semi-final. Flick elected to use him from the bench in that one against Athletic Club. In the end, Barca really didn't need him, but that goal there that we just saw. And tonight, you just wonder whether it could be a Lamine Yamal evening, don't you?
It definitely could be. He does like to play against Real Madrid. I think he knows. He enjoys scoring against Real Madrid so much. I mean, you see it in his celebrations. You see it in the way that he acts around the game. You know, he's in for it. And if he does, you know, it's probably some of the best nights of his life. Just being able to not only win Real Madrid, but you know, be a key part of the match and key part of the goal scoring chances and everything. So I think Lamine Yamal, you know, he is perfectly well up for this, and hopefully, you know, between him, you know, Lewandowski and Rafinha, I think they're three players that can easily well be up for this game. You know, the three of them know how to show up in big matches. You know, Rafinha has proven on and on again the way that he shows up for everything. Lewandowski has more than enough experience to know exactly to show up against Real Madrid like he has previously. Lamine Yamal is a kid and he's enjoying himself, and you know, what he enjoys is beating Real Madrid and scoring against Real Madrid. So, you know, we have three in the front line that could easily be Real Madrid's worst nightmare tonight. Yeah,
certainly so. Just seeing the amount of chances we had in this first half, and I've watched these highlights quite a few times over recent days. Actually, we saw them in yesterday's preview show as well. I mean, Barca rampant. I just wonder, looking at them, whether Barca will be thinking they can get at Madrid in similar sorts of areas tonight. I mean, you're seeing here the amount of goals Barca scoring from hurting the space that Madrid leave in behind. They've not really been convincing this season defensively. They've had big injuries and absences in that area. The same can be said for them tonight. Rudiger, we'll see in a moment, he's not in the starting 11. He did play against Atleti, so they are light at the back. It's not been easy for them, certainly at the heart of defence across the back four. Look at the fifth goal here. Do you think that's something Flick will be saying to the players? They'll say, look, we know that this is one of Madrid's weaker points. We know this is where we can really hurt them tonight, and we have to do that.
Yeah, no, I think definitely, as I mentioned before, I think when we're really dynamic across the pitch, you know, when we have the likes of Pedri and Frenkie de Jong in the midfield, when our strikers aren't static and we're able to move the ball around, move the players around. You know, Real Madrid are a very attacking team. They're very aggressive, but, you know, we have proven that we can dance around them with the ball at our feet. So, I do agree, Pablo. You know, bringing that to this game, I think that's probably Real Madrid's big, and historically as well. You know, when we were playing under Pep Guardiola, you know, some of these players are like, that was the worst game I've ever played because we've never touched the ball, and you know, we're not the same team as then, but you know, the dynamic is the same. The way to get against, you know, go around Real Madrid is just us playing our game, you know, moving the ball around, creating spaces, using the spaces, attacking the spaces, and basically, you know, making these players dizzy. It's just a matter of balancing that with defensively, not letting them score against us, get at us too much. But I think we have the tools, the players, the manager to be able to get at this team really, really well.
Yeah, certainly so. There's been lots of build-up to this game, of course, and last night was the official reception of the Spanish Football Federation before this grand finale here in Saudi Arabia. Of course, we know that the new format and the way it's been moved in recent years obviously means that we're now in this sort of Final Four format, if you like, that we've been seeing in recent times. We saw the President, Joan Laporta, was there present with it, and you get the feeling for the club, Alex. Of course, we've won that. We've won this trophy twice since it's been moved to the new format. Looking tonight for our third in 4 years. There is Laporta with President Luzan too present. We'll hear from him in just a moment. Get the feeling that could, well, be an incentive for Barca to make a bit of a stamp in this competition and also to do so in Saudi Arabia, where we saw there were quite a few Barca fans too.
Yeah, and, not only the cup, but it is nice to win this cup over Real Madrid always.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big, motivating factor. Like, not only do you want to win a cup, but you want to win it against Real Madrid and, have a repeat of last season. So really, there's so many motivating factors tonight. And when you look at, the way that, this cup is, the way our president is, approaching everything, it's great.
Well, let's hear from Laporta now then. He spoke ahead of this one. Let's do it.
Moltes ganes de guanyar aquest títol, és el primer que podem guanyar de la temporada. Hem arribat, jo crec que merescudament, a la final. Hi ha no només la junta directiva que tinc l'honor de presidir, jo mateix, els jugadors, el Hansi Flick, jo crec que tots els culers el que volem és començar aquest any, el 2026, amb un títol. És la Supercopa d'Espanya. Sempre que hem guanyat la Supercopa d'Espanya generalment es guanyen més títols. Jo crec que t'orienta la temporada i per tant demà és un partit important pels dos equips que jugarem la final i nosaltres estem molt mentalitzats, han entrenat molt fort, tenim l'entrenador molt mentalitzat, no permet que ningú es despisti i jo tinc la convicció de que tindrem possibilitats de guanyar aquesta final. El que hi ha és una màxima il·lusió per guanyar aquest títol, per guanyar demà el partit, per jugar bé i per donar alegries als culers. Això és el que hi ha.
Well, certainly so. We hope there'll be plenty of joy for Barca fans. Indeed. The players, by the way, have been out on the pitch warming up a few moments ago. And
Dani Olmo had a very serious face.
Olmo's going to be off coming hot for the bench tonight, as you can see, Alex. That's another big decision Flick's made with Fermin in the starting 11, as you can see there, that he goes for. Fermin, I thought, was excellent, by the way, against Athletic Club. And we saw him, didn't we, against Espanyol, Alex, the impact he made. Such a big player, of course. But he goes for Fermin tonight, which is another big decision from the German coach. Thoughts on that one?
Yeah, well, I think Fermin and Dani Olmo are very similar in terms of they have both effectiveness from the start and off the bench. Dani Olmo, we've seen so many times when he comes onto the pitch, scores the goals, makes the key plays, and Fermin as well. So I think either player, when you look at the style of play, the players on the pitch, I think either player would have been fine. Obviously, I think that's more down to the way Hansi Flick sees him training, what sensation he has, maybe the relationship between Fermin and Lewandowski and Dani Olmo Lewandowski, there's so many, contacts around the way that Hansi Flick picks players, and I trust Hansi Flick, so no, it's definitely an interesting choice, but I think either player would have been perfect tonight. Yeah,
I'd have to agree with you. Right, of course, there's not long to go now until kick-off, people. You can see Lamine Yamal on your screens there, and you have a question for you from FC Barcelona in your members' live chats to get into. You can only answer it if you're a Barca YouTube member, however, and of course, if you are a Barca YouTube member, you get plenty of exclusive content, such as the Barca Athletic fixtures, under-19 fixtures. Of course, you can participate in today's live chat. I can see all of you are using your emojis already too that we've unlocked for you in previous games. To the final, Supercopa 2026. That's what Barca want to get. That's what Barca want to get their hands on. A lot of them. There's a lot of them, Alex.
I know. I love the emojis. I love everything. Keep it up, chat, because we need you tonight. And I think we need to chat a lot tonight.
We do. And there's a lot of them.
Keep it up.
There's a lot of them. Alex, the question was from 0 to 10, how hyped are you? As you can imagine, I've only got 10 so far as the answers. I'm
actually quite calm.
Okay. You're calm. Not a 10. I'm a bit nervous, so yeah.
I wouldn't say hype just because I'm excited for the match, but actually I am quite calm. I genuinely the confidence levels that I have in this tonight is actually probably a bit too.
A bit too confident, maybe.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic, which is really rare.
Okay.
So no, but I just look at the players on the pitch. You're like, grand, this could easily be such a good match. Hansi Flick, we always trust. The way that we're coming into this match, Athletic Club, we started the beginning of the match a bit slow, I think, but then once we started going, we couldn't stop.
Yeah.
And every player that came onto the pitch was exactly the same. So I think right now, we're in a really, really good moment, and now it's just about capitalizing it.
Yeah, certainly so. Alex, we've spoken a lot about Barça, of course. I'm going to run through the Real Madrid lineup for tonight's game. Let's get that on our screens right now, because this is, of course, a huge game for Barça. It's a vital game for Madrid too. In fact, I'd maybe say there's more pressure on Madrid to get the job done tonight with all the pressure that's around and surrounding Xabi Alonso. There is the lineup they've gone for. Courtois in goal, Valverde, Asensio, Hausen and Carreras across the back line. Camavinga, Tchouaméni and Bellingham in midfield, with Rodrigo, Gonzalo and Vini Jr. across the front line. Guller's pulled out last minute of the lineup, so Gonzalo comes in, who's been in good form. Mbappe is with the team. He's on the bench, but they do go for that sort of Bellingham, Rodrigo, Gonzalo, Vinicius front four.
Yeah.
Could that leave them a bit exposed in midfield when you look at their back line too?
Yeah, I mean, I do have to say that Tchouaméni and Camavinga are really, really two really good players. The way that we see Frenkie de Jong and Pedri are probably the way that Real Madrid fans see Tchouaméni and Camavinga. I think when they both play well, that could be probably their key point on the pitch.
Yep.
But at the same time, they've never really caused us that much trouble in terms of not being able to get around them. But you look at that, you're like, right, Vini, Bellingham, Rodrigo, Gonzalo. It's we always know that Real Madrid have a good attack. They buy some of the best players in the world. They're stacked always. But that's never stopped us, especially in the recent years. We've had that superiority over them, and with the same players that they have now, their team hasn't changed as much as ours probably. But no, it's a good lineup for them, I think. Considering some of the injuries they have, Mbappe's out, but Gonzalo, you said, is in really good form.
He is, yeah.
You have Bellingham, who's always going to be a trustworthy player to show up in these matches as well. So, no, it's a good lineup for them. But at the same time, nothing to fear. Nothing to fear. It's fine.
Without Mbappe, I always think the Madrid are probably more balanced. I'm maybe then surprised that with his absence and with them initially starting Güler, maybe Alonso doesn't trust his other midfield options, but that they've put Gonzalo in there, because that maybe leaves them a bit top heavy. I think especially when I look at that back line, they have got Hausen back in today alongside Asensio. I still think those are two young, quite raw players. Valverde there isn't a right back. Carreras, of course, is a new signing this season. I think he's a very good left back. But there are certainly question marks to be answered there for Madrid. I think Camavinga, Tchouaméni, I agree, are both very good players, cover a lot of distance, but they're going to have a lot of questions asked them tonight too, in terms of the ground they're going to have to cover. And well, Barça might well feel that the way Madrid have lined up, maybe that's the midfield battle that we'll be looking at, that we'll want to win, certainly so. Right, a few moments ago, Hansi Flick spoke to our colleague Llorent Sares. Let's hear what the German coach had to say.
Okay, Hansi, big game tonight. It's not only a Clásico, but also a final. I guess there is no need to motivate the players. How is the team 1 hour before the match?
Very focused. So I saw before the match and when we left the hotel, I saw very focused, and they know exactly what to do today. So they also have how it feels to play against Barcelona, to play against in El Clásico. This is for me a good feeling.
As you said yesterday in the press conference, face-to-face, two different styles. How important is to control the tempo, the keep the ball, control the game, and also choose when attack and when keep the ball?
No, this is important, because also we are very good in ball control, but also when we lose the ball, they know exactly what to do. They are really, the transition is very, very fast. They have a lot of speed in the team, so we have to take care about these things.
Good luck, especially today. Thanks, Hansi.
Thanks.
This one, and as you can see, there you can see some Barça fans in the stands ahead of this one, Alex. We said it, didn't we? It's different playing it in Saudi Arabia. It certainly is. But what is nice is that a lot of these fans who won't often be able to see Barça, certainly not in the flesh, get the chance. And, well, I think it's going to be a pretty good divide between Barça fans and Madrid fans. You can hear the anthem ringing around the stadium there. And look at them full of passion ahead of this one. They're absolutely loving it in the ground, and even during the warm-up.
No, it's a good. I think everyone's up for it. I saw a lot of people, friends, being Barcelona and Real Madrid. It's a mix. Everyone's mixed, which is also quite fun to see. I think it's a very mixed crowds, because obviously, you have Cubarsi's parents.
Look at them. There they are.
They're happy. They're happy to see Cubarsi in the starting lineup. Oh, his sister looked exactly like him.
Yeah, I know.
They look identical. They look identical. But yeah, no, it's really nice to see, a lot of Gules have flown out for this match. Is that Valde's brother? Yeah, another identical.
Yeah. I was going to say,
they're all identical. My word, yeah. But no, it was really nice to see. There's a lot of Gules who travelled, in the way end and everything. Real Madrid have their away ends, but over that, as you said, probably, everyone's so keen to see these matches because it is people that maybe, never travelled to Barcelona, and never travelled to Madrid, never travelled to Spain, and, they don't have the opportunities to watch, a game like El Clásico. On top of that, not only is a cup final, but El Clásico. So I think everyone that's in the stadium today is appreciating this moment. So I think the ambience and everything in the stadium today is going to be outstanding.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'll tell you what, we've got quite the turnout in the chat here too, Alex. Over 23,000 people are watching us on right now. And we've got plenty. Pilita Malaguita's in the house. So we've got everyone here tonight. We've got everyone here tonight. Everyone is positioned and ready. Hamster's here too. Junior is here too. There's lots and lots of people, and there is the beautiful King Abdullah Sports City Stadium too, which is looking really good ahead of this one, I must say too. Look at that, really good to see. You can see the ground. This is of course the ground guys that played host to both semi-finals, two very different semi-finals. Barça hammered Athletic Club, they really did, and that can work. Maybe that's a good or a bad thing, because on one hand you got loads of confidence, right? You're full of confidence. On the other hand, Alex, the game was done in the 40th minute. Madrid suffered to get through their game. They really hobbled a bit. It wasn't always easy against Atleti. But then I suppose they were playing right until the end of the 90th minute, right? And I suppose that is also something that has to make a difference. Yeah,
no, it's going to be definitely interesting. Real Madrid against Atleti really did struggle. It was a quick goal, but it wasn't really secured until the end. No. So to be fair, I do think that we struggled in the opening. Probably what time?
5-10 minutes maybe. It was more even, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was at the start of the match. I thought it was quite even. I actually didn't expect us to run away with it. We were perfectly capable of it, but it didn't seem like it was going to be such a big scoring game and having so many goals. As you said, probably 40th minute the game was already done, and you didn't really expect that the way the game started. So I was quite impressed with that. I was like, we're gonna when we played them in Camp Nou, we were a man up. We didn't really flow the way that we flowed here. So I was like, this is gonna be another match against when we're not able to really create any clear goal scoring opportunities, and much less finish them when we actually get them. So I was pessimistic that game, Pablo. I was pessimistic.
Oh, were you? Yeah, okay.
I wasn't pessimistic to lose, but I was like, this is going to be a bad game. And then at the end, we turned it around, and obviously I'm really, really happy. But no, as you said, Pablo, maybe it was kind of like, mentally, it does change a bit. But I think because we struggled at the start of that match and we really got the gears going, got the flow going, I think that does help a bit as well.
Yeah, I will say this team is also in very, very good form indeed. We've won 9 on the trot, so we haven't done that for quite some time. It's the best run since Hansi Flick has managed the team. He's also managing a side who haven't conceded in each of our last 5 games. So really, Alex, we're coming into this game in the best
really good form.
In the best moment of the season for sure. It doesn't always mean anything. I think in fact going into last season's Super Cup final after the December you mentioned,
were awful.
We weren't really in the best of form, and we hammered them. And I think from that moment onwards we flew, so we must be wary of that tonight, even though I think Madrid have actually been on okay form results wise in December. They haven't been playing very well, and it's not been convincing. There's been a lot of noise around them. They'll be feeling tonight could be an also
the shift in the season that they need.
For them,
no, definitely. As you said, probably also with Xabi Alonso, there's a lot of pressure on him as well. There's a lot of pressure on the team. Just being able to be at the height of everything, especially when they compare themselves to us, which I think happens quite a lot. We've had a really good run. As you said, we've played outstanding football in the last few matches. We're top of the table, and rightfully so. So it is, a lot of pressure on them. This could be, they're like, right, let's forget everything. As we did last season, forget the league, forget everything. This is a one-off game against our biggest rival in a cup final. It's a neutral ground. So for them, it can be, that season shift changer. Hopefully not, because I do think that when we're on such good form, nobody can stop us.
Yeah.
I genuinely do think that. And, when Real Madrid are in good form, a lot of people can't stop them either. But right now they're not, and I think right now we're in better form, and I think that can be a big play to our advantage, mainly mentally. Yes. Knowing that, if they start off with a scrappy game, try to pick at us, try to bait us, we're mentally strong to be like, no, we don't need to go down to this level because we can beat you. rightfully so, with their football. So I think it's going to be quite interesting to see what happens. The way that Real Madrid kind of approach this game in terms of, right, are they confident they can beat us with their football, or are they going to be a bit more nabby and bit more scrappy, sort of thing?
Yeah, I'm very intrigued about that too, Alex. What Madrid will we see tonight? I think in this last year's Super Cup final, they tried to come at us, and then that hurt them by turn because they left too many spaces in behind. I think by the time the Copa del Rey final came around, if you remember, the first half, they didn't come out their own half. They sat in, and then they brought in Mbappe at half-time and attacked us. Yeah. But there was already that respect in the first half where they were like, we don't even want to come at Barca here, which is
I mean, to be fair, it was a point of the season where we really battered them throughout. So
we were. I know. I agree. But let's see what.
But yeah, I
think Madrid is, because they've got a very attacking lineup.
Yeah, that's why it's like, they are a very attacking lineup, and we do have to be wary of that. And I think, anytime you're Real Madrid, you're always going to have the confidence in that. So I'm quite curious what you said, Pablo. I'm quite curious whether they're going to be a bit more, reserved, or if they're really going to come out full guns blazing.
Yeah, certainly so. Bruna says the waiting is killing me. Yeah, the nerves are just going up and up and up.
There's still 14 minutes.
I know,
left.
There's still a while to go, people.
It's actually ridiculous.
There is still a while to go. But as we did in the semi-final, we're going to be wearing our fourth kit in this final.
Yes.
And our colleague Llorent Sares a few moments ago was inside the Barça dressing room to show us all about it. And the man.
Yeah, Pablo, look where I am. Soc al vestidor del Barça. Els jugadors acaben de sortir a escalfar i hem aprofitat la vinentesa que ens han permès per entrar en aquest vestidor on ja és tot a punt per començar aquesta gran final de la Supercopa. Mira, farem un petit trajecte amb el nostre company, l'operador de càmera, el Pol Cuyàs. Aquí en aquest vestidor hi ha les samarretes dels 25 convocats. Recordeu que Hansi Flick haurà de descartar 3 jugadors i, òbviament, un dels noms, un dels números de dorsals en els que ens volem fixar és en aquest dorsal número 10, Lamine. Com heu pogut veure, com ja vau veure a la semifinal contra l'Atlètic, avui tornarem a jugar amb aquesta quarta equipació que hem estrenat en aquesta Supercopa, amb, com veiem, algun detall, com per exemple aquests minuts en què es van fer els 3 gols al Santiago Bernabéu en aquell any 2005 amb Ronaldinho i Samuel Eto'o marcant el Bernabéu, aixecant el Bernabéu, i un resultat que, sens dubte, signaríem avui per aquesta final que començarà doncs, en ben pocs minuts. Som a Gira, tot preparat per la gran final de la Supercopa. Pablo, Àlex, desitgeu-nos sort, avui tots animant, perquè si tots animem segur que guanyarem.
Llorens, thank you very much. There you have it, people. Inside of the Barça dressing room, there you had it, people. I like the details on the kit. Alex, it's actually growing on me. When I first saw it, I thought...
No, Pablo, I love it.
Really? Yeah,
I love it, hands down. I saw that for the first time on the pitch, and I was like, oh my God, I need one.
And look,
Pablo,
and look who it is.
I'm upset you didn't give that to me for Reyes.
Oh, the shirt?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Pablo, but I'm your
I'm not
partner
made of money. I'm not made of money. I'm not made of money. I've got a bit. We saw Kat there wearing the Barca shirt, by the way. People. So if you wanted to have a look at how it looks, well, there you had it. Kat's wearing the Barca shirt.
This warm-up kit as well is really nice.
You like that as well, yeah.
It's really
Alex
nice.
is a fan of all the four.
I love it. I genuinely, I saw it on the pitch because you see it in, you don't really know how it's going to look, but I think the material and the way that it looks on the pitch is outstanding. I think this warm-up kit is really, really nice as well. So I love it.
Images there, people, from a few moments ago with just over 10 minutes to go until this grand finale kicks off of Barça out on the pitch there. Rafinha out there too. Will it be his evening in Jeddah, as it so often is? Real Madrid are his favourite opponent, by the way. He scored 5 against them, 5 against Benfica too. Let's hope tonight could be his night. Alex, you said you didn't want it, but it's coming your way. The pre-game quiz is on the way. Guys, play along. We've got a few questions here just to keep us going. We'll do a relatively quick fire round, Alex, because it's a final. There's a lot to get through.
Okay. Did you make it easy today?
I think they're easy enough, to be fair.
Okay. I don't believe that for a second, but let's see.
How many times have Barça and Madrid faced each other in the Spanish Super Cup final?
All right, chats. For those of you new here, I need help. Alia, Bruna...
all the usual family.
All the usual family. You guys know that you guys need to help me out
Alex,
with this. So
you've got extra help because there's only 33,000 people watching on too.
33,000.
Guys, massive thank you as always for tuning in. Outstanding display from the Barca fans ahead of this
all
one.
Of our premium members that can say something in the chat. Chat, I need your help.
Help Alex out. Help Alex out.
How many times have these two sides faced each other in the Super Cup final?
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F. I don't, Pablo, I don't know the answers to these questions.
Hit me.
I'm not
Give me one.
Mark Brau.
Give me one.
Grant, go. I'll go 14 times.
Okay, you're going 14 times.
I'm going 14.
I'm not seeing any answers in the chat just yet, so I'll have to look at them in a minute.
In the final, no, 10 times. I was going to say 10. I don't like it.
Alia said, don't rely on me, by the way.
Yes, Alia, I rely on you for a lot of things. You know this.
I know, I was going to say, Alia, we
usually get these things right.
I was going to say, oh, and I've just skipped one out.
3!
Oh!
3!
Right,
Pablo, it was 3. It was 3.
It's 3. We've skipped one. How many of those finals did Barca win? Not actually the strongest record, by the way.
No, 3 out of 10 is quite low.
Clicked once and it went twice. Anyway, you've got one more.
Pick again, Pablo. Pick again.
Can you imagine? No. Hide the mouse from her. This is good.
Okay.
How many Super Cup final goals has Lewandowski scored since he arrived? 10? Or sorry, no goals. Sorry, 2 or 3 goals. Dun, dun, dun.
I feel like this is a trick question. But I feel like Lewandowski has scored in the Super Cup final.
Go on, go with your gut.
But I can't. I was going to say 2.
Okay, you're going to go 2?
I'm going to go 2, but I feel like it's a trick question. The no goals really throws me off. 3. I know, I was like...
Lewandowski has scored in each and every one of his Super Cup final games against Real Madrid. Let's hope that remains the case. He's
that is a
one
great start.
In 2023, one in 2024, one in 2025. Lewandowski.
That is a great start.
You called him as the key player, Alex. Often is the man for the big occasion. We're seeing on our screens the light show that is going on inside the King Abdullah Sports City Stadium. Here, it looks great. It really does, I must say. It looks like it's going to be a brilliant venue for this clash. Wonderful, wonderful atmosphere there inside the ground. They're getting a bit of a replay of the final years that have played.
It's quite cool. They're going year by year and putting the goals and the winners from each year of the Super Cup since it's been changed.
And there we are. We are indeed in Jeddah this time around. We had some images of the stadium. There they are on your screens, people. That's the venue in which Barça are going to be playing tonight's game. And here are images of the arrival of the team earlier this evening to the venue. Hansi Flick there, a man who has never lost a final in his career. Let's hope that remains the case tonight, Alex. It is a wonderful, wonderful stat. He, of course, won
it's absolutely
2
ridiculous.
finals with Barca against Madrid last year. Can tonight be the night? I'll tell you what.
That stat is stupid.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It's stupid.
He's a good man to have at the helm for these nights.
It's ridiculous. No, it's absolutely. You know, when you look at the teams that he's managed, the competitions. You know, it's so easy to say when you're not competing at the top of the top. But we're talking Super Cup, we're talking Copa del Rey, we're talking Bundes. You know, it's so many good teams and so many good moments. To have that stat is just absolutely just ridiculous. Really.
It is a very good stat indeed. There is a Szczesny who, of course, started last year's final. Gerard Martin arriving there too, a player who's already played a lot this season for Barça, won a lot of titles. Casado was certainly a protagonist in last year's final too. Koundé, of course, will play from the start tonight. But with just a few moments to go until kickoff, Alex, it's nearly time for you and me to guess what we think the score will be. But first, we'll ask our colleague Llorenç Tarrés, who is pitch side, how he thinks this one will end. We'll go to him in just a few moments' time. In fact, Alex, let's play a bit of you and me first. Let's hear then.
All right, let's go.
Let's see.
Let's go.
I'm going to hear what your guess the score is. We'll go to Llorenç in a few moments. There they are in the chat. I've gone for a 3-1 Barca win as my score. I urge you guys in the members live chat.
So did good old Jamie Coles as well.
Jamie Coles passed by a few minutes ago. He said 3-1. You go 4-2, Alex.
I went 4-2. Jamie Coles went 3-1. I was like, oof, maybe 4-1. And I was like, oof, maybe it's going to be 4-2. I think it's going to be tighter than what we think. So I'm just going to go 4-2, keep it simple. We win.
Yeah, certainly so. Right, you've gone 3-1, I've gone 4-2. Let's hear from Llorenç, who is indeed pitch side, and it was just a few moments to go ahead of this one.
Wow, oh my God, Pablo, you know I'm not good of this, doing this, but anyway, I will say Barça 4. També podem aconseguir un bon resultat i a més còmode, aconseguir el títol de manera important. És a punt d'acabar l'escalfament, per tant començarà també la cerimònia crec ja que hi som, que diré els gols. The top scorers, the goal scorers will be Lewandowski, que en farà 2, Lamine Yamal i Pedri. Crec que aquests seran els golejadors del partit d'avui. Hi ha molt xivarri aquí, hi ha molt xivarri al King Abdullah Stadi, per tant, comença ja a treure foc aquesta final que és a punt de començar. Companys, moltíssima sort, gaudir de l'espectacle i esperem que amb victòria del Barça.
Llorenç, hopefully see you in the post-game show with hopefully lots of protagonists, lots to see too. Let's hope, Alex, let's hope. Llorenç went for a 4-1, by the way, there, people. You saw it on your screens, it cut out a bit. But Llorenç went for a 4-1. Barça then looking to get their hands on the Super Cup trophy. Alex, it's nearly time, and I want to ask the live chat members, how are the nerves? How are the nerves? On a scale of 1 to 10, maybe, give me your nerves for this one, Alex.
I'm a lot more nervous now that we're seeing.
Have they gone up yet?
If seeing everything, seeing the players, being ready to come out, the trophy out there, the vibes, the environment, the atmosphere in the stadium, it's getting a bit more realistic now.
Yeah,
but no, it feels real, and it feels like this is a cup final and it's El Clásico. It adds the fact that it's El Clásico. Should maybe have been Barça Athletic Club in the final, for example. It's a cup final, but you feel fine about it. It's a match, but when it's El Clásico, it just adds the extra layer of nerves. And no, look at that. Alejandro Valde's face right now is just straight up. Lamine Yamal as well, Pedri. Everybody has the most serious game face on right now.
Yeah.
That gives me confidence.
If we're nervous in the studio, the players certainly are. Let's go to game commentary, people. It's time for the Super Cup final. And so, Barça will be looking for their third Super Cup title in the last 4 years. They're going to have to beat Real Madrid if they're going to get their hands on the famous trophy. Welcome to Jeddah. It's Barça versus Real Madrid in the latest episode of this great footballing rivalry. There is the trophy that both teams want to win, as the likes of Lewandowski, Rafinha and Lamine will try and steer Barça to another historic victory. Again, this is Xabi Alonso's first final with Madrid. The nerves will be big for him. Certainly pressure on the Madrid coach. For Barça, for Flick, they've been there, they've done this. Let's hope tonight is another one of those historic games that we remember for a very, very long time. It's real now, people. It's the Super Cup final. Alexis Bateta, it's, well, one of those great, great games that we think really could be spoken about for a very long time.
Hopefully this is a night to remember, just like last season was. We're here for an outstanding match. We have an outstanding lineup. We're in a good form. We have a lot of confidence. Our players are playing really, really well, from Joan Garcia up to Lewandowski. And Hansi Flick, we trust his ridiculous stat of never losing a final that he's managed. It's just, everything is pointing in a really good direction, but at the same time, we are playing against big rivals. We can't be calm, we can't be complacent. We need to be careful and be wary of that, because Real Madrid are always, they're always ready to attack, especially against us. But it's a special night for everybody. It's the first shot of a trophy, as you said. It's a big, big, big day, and hopefully we do remember this for a really long time.
Yeah, there's some big team news for you. Kylian Mbappe starts on the bench for Madrid. He didn't play the semi, but he then travelled out to Saudi Arabia to join the squad for this final. Alonso keeps him in reserve for now. Here is the Barça team then, with Joan Garcia in goal, in search of his first professional title with his club. Koundé and Cubarsí, Eric Garcia and Balde across the back line. So no Gerard Martin, just like was the case in the semi-final. In midfield, Fermín López does get the nod ahead of Olmo, so he's next to Pedri and De Jong. And up front, Lamine Yamal and Lewandowski are back in alongside Rafinha. So Rooney and Varane drop to the bench. Those are the only two changes from the semi-final.
Yeah, no, it's a good team. It's a good team, especially, we're seeing Frenkie de Jong there with the captain's bands, getting all his captaincy duties out of the way before the match. Frenkie de Jong and Pedri, I feel like when you have those two on the pitch, nothing can go wrong. You have the team so secure when you have these two players on the pitch in terms of mechanism. Frenkie de Jong is a really good leader. You add in Rafinha, Lewandowski is, they're leading the group really, really well with these young players around them. But Frenkie de Jong and Pedri, I think tonight are going to be two of our key players like always, and I'm feeling really, really good right now.
Yeah, I must say so too. We'll look at the Madrid lineup right now because, well, that midfield battle could be fascinating. Watch out for Courtois. He's often a big feature in these games. Valverde is the makeshift right back with Asensio, Hausen and centre-back. Carreras is the left back. Bellingham, Camavinga and Tchouaméni in Madrid's midfield three. Maybe Bellingham will push on into the front four where Rodrigo, Gonzalo and Vinicius Jr. are all waiting for Madrid. It's what I'd say is a decently attacking lineup from Alonso, who does shuffle his deck. He does play some risky cards here. Is that a bold lineup from Madrid, Alex?
I think so, especially when you look at past matches. You know, their attack really exposes them at the back, and that's